How are you guys doing? Today is March 14th, 2022. I was hoping Batman would save us, per my last thumbnail. He was nowhere to be found. Big sad. Today was really a pretty terrible red day. That's why I threw in 4 shorts yesterday. If you went that direction, congratulations. If you went long, most of them really didn't move much at all. It's probably fine. But I mean, this was not a great day nonetheless. If you're having a hard time trading this type of market, I think you have 2 options I can responsibly talk about. One is to continue trading losing money. That's fine if you want to take that route. Not the one I would endorse at this point if you're not experienced enough. The second, which I do endorse, is get your education up now. Study the markets now. So we get back to a bull market and everything's kind of going up, which will happen again eventually. You're ready to go. I think the best place to start, in my opinion, is my free course over my YouTube, 25 free classes. Go check that out now. It's there for you. It's a great resource. In this video in particular, I have 8 stocks I really enjoy looking at that I think are going to be really good plays tomorrow. I'm pretty confident we have 6 longs and 2 shorts. The reason I have more shorts than usual is we're entering bear market / pullback territory. Trend is your friend. We'll start shorting if it really comes down to that much more. In this video, we're talking about technical analysis mainly. Supports, resistances, trend lines, patterns, EMA lines, volume profile, RSI, and the stochastic indicator, and the vortex. Those 9 things make up my trading plan. And I'll discuss with you on this episode all those types of great things in detail. If you really enjoy my content and want to support this channel further, go check out my patreon.com. It's in the description box down below. You get 14 free days. No point not checking it out. We would love to have you. Some great content on there. Go check it out. Otherwise, with this video, would you please like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification? That would mean the world to me. My confidence, my delicate ego is tied to it directly. So please go check out the subscription button down below. You want daily watch list, daily content, more courses, check it out down below and subscribe. With that being said, 8 great picks today. Before we hop into it, we have our cat cam on deck today. No other streamer does this. You're probably thinking, why does this guy have a stuffed animal? This is a real cat. You show your face, bud. Okay, there he is. He's just napping with us today. He's being a good boy for once. So we have him on deck. If you all enjoy cats, this is the place to be. With that being said, 8 great picks today. We have some great stuff to look at. Let's do it together. Let's get it. So first is BRX. Oh, he's getting active. Uh-oh. So first is BRX. What's great about BRX, as we can see, is it's a nice channel up. Yes, we have a few breaks here and there, but the resistance trend, the supporting trend, and even the regression line are all very, very consistent and good to go. So we look at our support area. Oh, I'm getting the lickies. So we look at the support area. Old resistance here becomes a new support. So you can see it was a resistance at 20. Oh my god, I'm trying to film, but what are you doing? You alright? Okay, he's good now. So we can see with BRX, this old resistance at 24 became a great support here, and it seems to be holding just fine. So support's clear, resistance is 25.50, clear as day. Right here, we're going to be risking about 2 or 3% to make about 4 or 5%. Not the best ratio, so I need it just a bit lower. If BRX does hit 24.10, 24.20, risking a percent or 2 to make 5 or 6, that's where the bread and butter is. So we want to make sure we get them just a bit lower, and that seems to be coming true as we speak. It's important to note that reversals are very quick. Even on the 360-day 4-hour chart that we have here, they are very quick. So if you want to catch this one, you may have to buy in or scale in before you have confirmation of some green. That may be good. That may be bad for some of you. It's all good. Besides our trend up and our support coming together, we have our POC. This is the strongest volume node on the whole entire time frame. It is gravitational, which is negative once it pulls slower, but it will be our best support. So we want to play off with that. Always a fine plan as well. For me, going longer on 24.05 makes a whole lot of sense here. Great trend up, great support. Overall, I love what I see. Let's check our indicators. What's so cool about this channel, besides me and my cat, meow, 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 is I don't use indicators to scan with or chart with. Indicators to me is just the icing on the cake, me being the cake. Ooh, no. So what indicators show you is momentum, trend, volume, and volatility. Those 4 things show us, help us, keep us engaged when it comes to entering, exiting the stock, trading a plan, planning that trade, macro markets, all these kinds of great things, risk management, but you cannot rely solely on indicators. A lot of beginners do that. They're like, oh, we have RSI at 30, must be a good deal. And they run in and get burned. So it's important to note where I'll use the EMA lines, the 10, 50, and 200, the RSI, stochastic, and vortex to help show us some great insight but we're not going to rely on them. With that being said, if you are a new trader, you're going to see live what a veteran sees and go through it together. Let's check it out. So first, the 10 EMA line is blue, 50 is purple, red is 200. We just lost the 200, but it's a great support. If you want to wait for a 200 crossover here or a 10 EMA crossover, aka price goes over like this, a 200 crossover looking like this, that's fine, or a 10 looking like this is fine in my book. Even a 50 could be fine as well. It's important to note if the candle does not solidify, it doesn't count. So we can probably find an example here on any time frame. So like right over here, you're going for a 10 cross on this candle, it went up, it wicked back down. That does not count. This right here would count. So make sure the price goes and stays over the EMA lines. Overall, we have a pretty good value. I think that because RSI is at 42, it could be lower, but it's been going sideways at this area for a pretty long time. Makes sense. Stochastic is low. There's no real bearish or bullish divergences. It all checks out. It's just a really good value here. You see how the stochastic almost always reverses here. If it gets a bit more red, like I'm talking about getting to $24, it lines up perfectly with that, and bulls and bears are tied. What we can see is that the last 2 months consistently has been absolutely sideways consolidation movement. All your big moves in the market, 9 out of 10 times, come after consolidation because stocks can do 3 things, my dear Watson: up, down, and sideways. And most of your big ups and your big downs come after sideways. So with that happened with BRX, I think a breakout or a nice move up here makes a lot of sense. Of course, use a stop loss. But BRX, I love what I see. I would definitely watch listed. Next is Fox, a really easy short in my opinion, especially if we lose 34.74. We just lost this support 36.12. 36.15 was a great resistance, became a support. It broke down. If we also lose 35 area 34.90, this bad boy is going to be coming all the way down probably about $33. This trend up was gorgeous. It made a broadening wedge. I discussed this a lot, so quickly, a broadening wedge is when the trend lines don't actually parallel, they go opposite. This means a new pattern is going to form soon, which we have here. So I talk about all the time. This is at an action. So we can see a new pattern's forming, most likely going to be a horizontal one, maybe a channel down, right? We may see something like this form, right? See that? You may see a channel down form here. That may be great for shorting as well. A lot of things may be coming from this, but FOX did lose its support. FOX did lose its trend line. And at this point, earnings overreaction coming back down to earth. If we lose this $35 area, it's coming down even farther. You could probably risk 1 or 2% to see at least 4 or 5 in a good move. Again, the POC is our strongest support on this time frame. See how it's a great support over here and a great resistance? Consistently, there's a good chance, I got the support over here, good chance we may hit that and bounce back. So maybe that being your small price target makes a lot of sense. But also, the POC is going to be gravitational. So it's trying to pull us back down, helping us get down lower here. Overall, Fox, a really good short that has very low risk in my opinion. When it comes to our indicators, 10 just crossed under the 50. If that 50 crosses under the 200 in the next few days, this bad boy is a goner. That is a death cross. What happened here, it really tanked down, right? When it crossed back over, it really took off. But all 3 EMA lines have been lost recently, and for me, that makes sense to short. RSI, it's low. It makes sense it's coming down. Stochastic, it's low. Again, makes sense it's coming down. Bulls are low, bears are high. There is a chance that Fox could be a really good long eventually if it really comes down farther. But again, we don't rely on indicators. Even though those are over, it says oversold and all that, the price action don't lie. I think it has a good 3 or 4 more % to really come down at least before it even becomes technically oversold or really kind of bombs out. And you can always go long then and make even more money. But in my opinion, FOX here, easy short. It's breaking down. It's not like what the markets are doing. I would short it. I definitely watch list it. I do like what I see. Next is INFL. Rhymes with one of my favorite words, incel. INFL is a really good looking short as well here. Old resistance became a support, didn't hold. Now it's going to be a resistance once again. If we can see it break down below probably around 31.30, it's for sure coming down farther. The support here has not really been support that often. I mean, you have it being a resistance and a small support here. Otherwise, it's just been a resistance 4 or 5 times. We lose that, bad boy's coming down to 30. Can easily risk 0.5%, maybe 1% here to really see it come down hard. Overall, though, same exact idea with Fox here. It's lost its nice move up, double topped over here as well. Double top. If it breaks this neckline, it's done for, big fella. Coming down, you can easily risk 0.5 to make about 5 or 6%. The POC is pulling us lower. Again, when I go long with INFL, like $29 or $30, sure, I'd go long down there. But up here, very easy short. Let's check our indicators together. It's about to lose the 50. It just lost the 10. If we cross under the 50, that's a great signal. Let's say we open up over here tomorrow, comes down, percent more, breaks beneath the 50, easy, go short. It holds the 10, go short, all makes sense. You cross over the 10, you can wait, right, and go into value. But this is a really easy short. RSI is at 50, plenty of room still to run down. Stochastic is low. It looks almost like there's no divergence at all. It's fine. A small bullish one I look out for here. And then bulls and bears are basically tied here. Again, I don't want to rely too heavily on indicators for play like this. Even though the RSI and stochastic look mightily okay, I still think it's shorting and coming down eventually makes a whole lot more sense here. So INFL, I'd watch this. Easy short if tomorrow's red. I do love what I see. Next is JKS. I do like solar plays quite a lot. It's a really good support. Even historically, you can see great support. This thing has a history of making nice little channels here. We're making another one over here, right? It ran up beautifully, and then it came down beautifully. All right, bouncing, showing a little bit of life. I'm not rushing in here, but it's important to note the reversals are very quick here. Very quick across the board, constantly changing, going back and forth. I think at this point, 38 bucks or lower, even 37 bucks or lower, really low risk entry, 1 or 2%. Just to make a small move is like 12 to 15. JKS can be probably the play of the month for you if it makes a move you want it to do. It could also be very volatile for a beginner. So JKS here, great support play. Not to mention, again, our POC is gravitational. This is going to be a hard resistance. But again, if we do move up 60%, you'd probably be like, should probably take some profits, shouldn't I? Probably. So you do see a 60% move. That's great. But of course, this is gravitational and wants to pull us higher. Easy support play. No trend, but I do love what I see. When it comes to our indicators, crossovers are too far away. I'm not rushing into any of these. I want to buy into value. Evan, how do I know we have value? Well, the RSI shows it low. Technical analysis shows it. EMA line's all above us, shows us value. Stochastic is low. Bulls are low. Bears are at all-time high here. So when it comes to JKS, it makes sense for a solar play to go long here. Of course, it loses the support, becomes a very easy short as well. Waiting for that pivot point makes a lot of sense. Wait for us to hit that pivot point. Go long or short, either way, you're really managing risk just a bit lower. But solar plays overall, I like them. JKS, I'd watch this. I definitely do like what I see. Next is NGD, New Gold Inc. Make sure you do your due diligence. It's a gold company that, with the way the markets is, it's really important to mention. I did call it over here. It made some nice move like 19%. You're welcome. I'm going to call it again because I'm greedy. This is nice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 solid hits higher. It's hard to notice that this may be a wedge up to some degree. I can't necessarily put my finger on where. I would probably go with a channel up if I was going to make this anything. If I could do the clicking right, you doofus. Maybe like a channel up here at most, possibly. But right here, it's a great trend up. Higher highs, higher lows. Clear resistance here that's in the fight across. Clear support area. Older resistances. Became a support. Love it. I don't think, 167 is good. I think, 165, 162 is a much better entry. And again, the POC wants to pull us higher. If we can break over that, it'll be a great support for us. So overall, very clear support, very clear resistance. Great trend. POC wants to pull us higher. All parts of convergence are there. Love to see it. Over the 200, you have your best runs. If tomorrow crosses the 200, that's a great go long signal. Over the POC, another great go long signal. Both work fine for me. So you have value here or you have momentum. Either one, it works fine for me. RSI, it's low. Stochastic, it's low. Bulls and bears are tied. It makes sense. We are kind of moving sideways since this big move. So NGD here, you have to do your due diligence. I have no idea to what degree this gold company does anything. It's important to note with this kind of market, some folks do enjoy buying gold because it appreciates fairly well in these kinds of markets. But overall, it's a great uptrend, great support, great resistance, very clear play. A bit lower becomes very low risk, high reward, and just a bit higher becomes a low risk, high reward setup as well. Either way, the key ingredient is going to be patience. So as this play kind of develops in the morning into noon, 1 o'clock tomorrow, watch it carefully. But overall, I would watch this dip. I do love what I see. Next is Ogie Organgram Holdings, a really nice looking wedge down here. Consistent. Lower highs, lower lows. What I love about Ogi is that it likes to make a history of making almost like little baby wedges inside and very nice consolidation patterns. Again, it does this often. And once again, we do have this kind of like smaller wedge in itself forming down here, right? And it's starting to get really tight here. Ogi at 127 is a great value. After hours, showing a little bit of life here. I mean, I won't put too much emphasis into that, but it's having a nice support at 130. It bounces here constantly with nice little boops here. Again, I wouldn't want to buy in and risk, 7 or 8% to make 7 or 8%, but I think at 130, 127, 126, it's a very good play. The POC wants to pull us higher. Again, it's only 2% away. Not much help here, but we get over it, it will become a very nice support. Overall, wedge downs do like to break up. And again, that's not the greatest looking chart with that big spike on it. But right there, we can see coming down beautifully, starting to really tighten up. If this bad boy does break out, it may be the play of the month, even the play of the year, if it makes a really nice move of 20, 30% thereof. Overall, this is a really good looking chart, zoomed out, isn't it? Not really. You can zoom in. The 50 EMA line crossover is great. The 10's really good for day trades. Like you get over here and get like a good, 5% or so. A day trade over the 10 EMA line works fine. Over the 50, you probably get yourself a really nice runner, right? Over the 50, you're going to have a really good time. So waiting for either one, it's fine in my opinion, as long as you manage risk. When it comes to our indicators, RSI, it's low. 45 is fair. Again, it's making a little bit of life here. Earlier, it was at 38. That's good. Stochastic is bottoming out, showing some life, and bulls are low, bears are high. OGI overall is a really good value. I do want it a bit lower. I don't love that it's up like 4% after hours. It does nothing for me unless I want the 10 EMA line crossover play. But overall, OGI here, I do love what I see. I think it's a great value. I would definitely watch list it. Let's check in with my cat real quick. He has since calmed down. He was going absolutely bananas the first chart, but now he's just being a weepy boy. Hello! He's having a good time. Oh, his eyes are a little bit open. There you go. That's a good boy right there. That's my son. Next is PRVA. I kept the wedge on here because this is very important to watch. It had a nice wedge down, just like Ogi. It broke out, retested, and then took off with a nice move. Now we can see that this 2065 to this 2025 area is a very nice support. It likes to bounce here constantly and make good 15, 20% kind of moves here. I do want to see it come down 3 or 4 more percent. This is our volume profile line. Between these two dotted lines, which you watch my video on it, is where 70% of volume happens. Under that, it gets very volatile, and usually it's a pretty good support for us. So we can see, again, 2 or 3% lower, really mitigates our risk, really gives us a huge amount of reward, and the POC wants to pull us higher. No real trend line here. I guess you could argue, it had one earlier. It broke down. It's not really a trend play. It's just a great support play. I want to see it just a bit lower. When it comes to our indicators, right, it looks like it's all, inversely stacked. Not the greatest thing of all time. And I think the 10 crossover, 5200 all way too far away. It's just a value purchase. Why is that? Technically, we have value right in this area. EMA lines are all above us, showing us that we have value. RSI is low. Stochastic is low. Keep going. Vortex, bulls are low. Bears are high. This particular play has no real life yet. PRVA has no real reason to be rushing in here. There's none. I think if you can see it 3% lower and then scale in with like half your position now, half position later, that makes sense. Or let it come down and kind of consolidate. Let the 10 EMA line come down, then cross over that. That also makes sense. Again, I think either way with PRVA, 1, watch list it, and then 2, it comes with a hint of patience waiting for the right move. But overall, I'd watch list it. I do love what I see. Last and certainly not least is SGT. It's doing what I wanted to do tomorrow already. It's being real rude. I saw it, kind of in the 665 range. Thought it'd come down to maybe another percent or two. But up here, it's not much of a play. It's a great ascending triangle, which is my favorite pattern, as many folks know. The reason is the inherent bullish nature of ascending triangles is something that I really enjoy as a trader overall. Because what we're seeing here is that bulls said, hey, 520 is a fair price. Push it to 750. Then said, hey, actually, 560 is fair, and pushed it to 750. And said, actually, 620 is fair, and pushed it to 750, and now up to 650. It shows that bulls have all the strength here, 1, 2, 3. Bears have no strength under this $7 range. It's all bulls here. So we do see a nice move up here tomorrow. Not going to be surprised. I did want to buy into value. Hopefully tomorrow the POC becomes our support and holds us up. I'm pretty confident there should be a crossover play here. I did want to buy into value, but there should be something. Yeah. The 200s being our support, that's fine. You want to go long here, then use this 200 email line area as your stop loss, that's fine. If tomorrow we cross the 10 email line like this, let's say it does like that, you can go long there, then use a 10 email line as your stop loss, that's also fine. So momentum works fine here. Either way though, stochastic is low, or RSI is low, and of course we can see bulls are low, bears are high. So overall, SJT is still at value, has plenty of room to run up, but we can also see the momentum play developing here. Overall, SJT, I do love what I see. I would definitely watch this. Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate it. We'll see you guys on our next episode, which should be tomorrow, unless I get sleepy and take a nap. But I'm pretty confident I could stay awake just for you guys. We'll see you guys later. I do appreciate you. Thanks.